Follow that.
Join with Deputy Jennifer Marine O'Connor in supporting her efforts on behalf of women and the supports that they need in County Carlow. Today I want to also wish all women the best wishes on this International Women's Day and to encourage as many as possible to consider a life in politics, whether it be local or national. But I want to reflect on the state itself. So what record can we point to in the context of the state? Ireland versus the people. Let's look at Grace. The Grace case, we debated it here at length, and it was said by the Ceann Comhairle that because of its importance, we should come back and have a further debate and monitor the action being taken. Disgracefully, I have to say, the government and new minister have given a further 12 months to the Farley Commission. This is ongoing in terms of what's been done since 2016. I know that there have been many interim reports, but there are those that stand accused within the HSE, within the services beyond the HSE, of neglect in the case of Grace and indeed the 47 others. It is a disgrace to treat Grace, who has no voice, in this way, to treat those that were with her in care in this way, and that is a reflection on government. I want to also remember on this day Lucia O'Farrell, whose son was murdered on the road, a young man with his future in front of him, promised all sorts of support in terms of an inquiry. The report has yet to be presented in full to Cabinet and has yet to be made public. I would ask you, Minister, to make the report public. I would ask you to ensure that the public inquiry that was voted on in this House and committed to by the majority of members of this House is put in place. I think it is harrowing for Lucia O'Farrell to hear this case being mentioned again and again and again. It's harrowing for all women to look on and see the Grace case not being dealt with either, just because there is no voice in that case. I want to refer to Finola Cassidy, who has campaigned long and hard on behalf of the thalidomide victims, and again being, in my opinion, misled by the state and poorly treated by successive governments. So Vicky Phelan was spoken about here, the late Vicky Phelan, a wonderful person. All sorts of commitments were made that this would never happen again. But has anyone in the Department of Health tried to find out how many women, and indeed men, are involved in the latest scandal where the lab at University Hospital has not processed, it is estimated by the consultants, 6,000 cases? That they're waiting since middle of last year for the outcome of biopsies. Is that the way the state will treat women now and in the future? Is that the way the state will live up to its promise to the late Vicky Phelan that this will never happen again? And lastly, the mothers of all those that are trying to access the service, the disability services and CAMS. What an utter disgrace that it is, the length of time that they have to wait. The fact that there is little or no services being made available to them. The fact that they have to queue for services that may be delivered in years to come, with no understanding of the devastation that it's causing to families and to the individuals that need the support. Another group of women badly treated by the state. And I would say about the eviction ban, it should never have been lifted without certain modifications to it and it being put back in place again. We heard today at the Finance Committee where 7 out of 10 mortgages that are in difficulty are held by vulture funds. All of this, in terms of the banks, has a huge impact on families. Missed opportunities for them. Maybe, arguments about the home and their future. And I find it reprehensible that we would not have sought the influence of MABs and FLAC in terms of an understanding of what that eviction ban means. And lastly, I would say, if we want to pay tribute to women in Irish society for what they do, then fund without a question the Amber Refuge Service in Kilkenny. Fund MABs so they don't have to worry that their contract will end at the end of 2023. Take them out of the waiting list. Do something positive for them. And the same can be said of FLAC. Fund them. Pay tribute to all of the work that they do and give them the funding and the recognition that they deserve. Words mean nothing. Action is what is required. And I'm afraid this government, in relation to those cases that I've mentioned, have fallen well short of the action that's required to answer the cases that have been put forward in the names of the people I mentioned. Shame on you.